Hello everyone, it's Brooke, and today I'm looking at the MT-01 by YEDC. This is actually my first fidget. I've been kind of interested in different types of fidgets, but I never really bought one. I didn't really see one that super caught my eye, but this one did after watching a video. So one of the reasons why I picked this one is because it has two actions. It has a slider as well as kind of like a haptic or ratchet wheel. Now, do note that this is no longer being made, so you kind of have to find it secondhand if it's possible. This was I was actually very, very lucky to be able to find this, that someone was actually, getting out of fidgets, and I actually happened to find someone who was selling it. So this is the zirconium version. So it has like that kind of grayish finish with kind of like an iridescent color to it if you look in a certain way in the light. There's also the stainless steel version, which has more of like a silver finish. So things to look out for in this particular fidget if it is right for you. First and foremost, for both of the actions, they are very soft. So if you like that really, strong, snappy feedback, this is not it. The wheel, which was the biggest thing that drew me in, you do feel the feedback, but again, it's not very sharp. I wouldn't say it's muddy, but it requires very little force, which again, for some people, that could be a good thing. It's very quiet though. You can move it both directions pretty easily. And I was experimenting how to roll it different ways. Sometimes I'll literally flick it like a lighter, which is kind of fun. But you still can, if you do it slow, you can really feel that feedback. And then you have the slider. So again, same thing. The slider it has 3 notches in it. 1, 2, 3. But again, the feedback is very minor. It's very soft. It's very easy to push. So if you're looking for something stronger, you might want to steer clear of this one. For me, I like it. I like for instance, I have a custom mechanical keyboard that I put together, and I use tactile switches, not tactical. And they have, the bump in it, but it's a very gentle bump. It's not very pronounced. So this kind of reminds me of that feel where you can feel it, but it's not very strong. Another way to play it, you can again also flick it kind of like a lighter or a Zippo. So I definitely have a lot of fun with this. I'm going to open it up to show you what's inside, and then a modification that I made. So now I took it apart so you can see what's inside. So on this one, you'll notice that there are little ridges. These are where you get that haptic feedback for sliding as you move it up. You'll notice that there's 6 notches, but when you use it, you only feel 3. So part of that has to do with the actual slider itself. And if you can kind of see right over here, there's a little notch, and this goes into this section. So as it goes, it's going to ride along the track. And it's kind of hard to show on camera, but essentially it hits the end of this little metal bar. And then this bar, this little tab right here, that's what goes along the ridges. Now, I took this apart already, and also this was not completely brand new, so there's no instructions for the exact configurations, and I think you can kind of modify it how you want. You'll notice that besides the slider for the little screw and for that little metal piece that drags across, you have a hole, and then you have another notch right here. So I've been experimenting with different things, one being putting a spring here, as well as balancing one of the little balls right on top to give that the extra pressure that it needs. I've seen some people who there's a smaller spring. This is mainly for the wheel, but I'll get to that in a second. But I was experimenting to see how much of a difference it feels since it's a lot thinner and smaller. and then maybe putting this one more over here on the end, but I think I'm going to keep it there. But what I did was I found a video, and what someone did was take, if I can get it to focus, there we go. So you'll notice that this groove goes into that hole, but it sticks out this direction. What I saw someone do is basically cut this part out and bend it so the notch was more onto the side, on this side closest to the bump, and that way it had more travel room for the screw. So I tried it myself. It's not great. It's a kind of a weird shape. If you can kind of see it, I won't completely stand up. Like so. Do know that if you were to try this yourself, that this metal is very thin, very flimsy, breaks very easily, so you kind of have to be careful, so it's up to you. They give you one extra, so in case you ruin one, you still have the regular one. If you can find a piece of metal like this, great, but I had to be very extra careful. But essentially, what this allowed me to do is take the slider, and if I stick it in here, there we go. So now it's already up on its own, just due to the metal. And then I can't put it directly until I push this all completely down. But essentially, if I were to go all the way across, this won't hit until right here. And if you can see, it's right at the last ridge. And it doesn't even really touch that screw, actually. But essentially, it gets the full 6 notches instead of just the first 3. So that's one modification I did. I haven't done any other modifications so far. I don't think I will right now, but who knows. Okay, now onto the wheel. So the wheel's construction, you have this side and you have this side. And you'll notice on here, there is a tiny little hole, and that's mainly for the little spring to go in there, and then the ball on top. And the ball is what causes the haptic feedback. So the ball will go into each notch and go all the way around. Now, because the ball is smooth and these ridges are not very pronounced, that's why, again, it's very easy to rotate around. On the other side, you'll see that it is very smooth. There's not much there. So on that side, they use a little ball bearing wheel, a little bushing to go on top. But that essentially is the construction. So now I'll show you how it moves with the modification that I made. All right, so now with that modification to the slider, you now have access to all 6 notches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, it's kind of hard to see in there, but you'll see that the screw is now hitting the bar. So instead of the bar being all the way back here, it's over here. So you get the full range of motion. Yeah, the feedback is probably about the same. With the bar being angled up, it also gives that extra little pressure and relief off of the spring. But with a bigger throw, again, I feel like maybe there's a little bit more feedback to it. If I can ever find some other springs and parts that can go inside, I might still try to fool around with it, but you can still flick it, because now you have a longer throw. So especially for people who have bigger hands or longer thumbs, that'll be good. But yeah, but overall, I'm very happy with this particular fidget. It's definitely going to stay in my hopefully future collection. But yeah, but let me know what you guys think. I do actually have the stainless steel version. This person was selling both. They actually bought both. I'm definitely going to be keeping the zirconium. That one's for me. But if you are potentially interested in the stainless steel, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos.